Hey friends, welcome back to Jenny Food and My Kitchen. Well, today I'm calling this a chicken special because I've got not just one chicken recipe, but I've got 3 to show you today. Now, have you ever asked yourself, what am I going to do with all this leftover chicken, or what exactly am I going to make with all that chicken I bought at Costco? Well, you've got 3 recipes to choose from. Number 1, I'm going to show you how to make Michigan cherry chicken salad. It is how we do it in the Mitten State. It is how we make our chicken salad. So number 2, I'm going to show you how to make some easy chicken taquitos, which are fun. I mean, kids love them. It's very kid friendly. Great for a Friday night or a Sunday night if you don't really feel like hauling out a lot of ingredients. And then lastly, I'm going to show you how to make a better than takeout chicken fried rice with leftover chicken. Oh my gosh, it's so good. So hang in there and let's make these. So for our first recipe, we're gonna go ahead and make a Michigan cherry chicken salad. Now, I've gone ahead and I've done all the chopping that we need to do. I put those onions on the bottom because I don't want my eyes to go crazy, but I had 4 pieces of breast meat, which added to just about 4 cups. That is almost a solid 4 cups. I'm going to go ahead and add that into my bowl. And I've got that all nice and cubed. Just a little bit smaller than bite-sized pieces. I find that works best for chicken salad. Now, to that, make it easy. I have a 1/2 cup of chopped red onion. I have a 1/2 cup of chopped celery. And I have a 1/2 cup of those good Michigan cherries. That's how we do it in Michigan. We have cherry orchards everywhere around us. In fact, we live in like cherry capital. There's a lot of apple orchards, but there's also a lot of cherry orchards around us. So I'm just going to go ahead and give this a mix and make sure that we have enough celery and enough onion. Oh, that's perfect. I like a lot of stuff in my chicken salad, so I don't mind even if there's a little extra, but this looks like just the perfect amount of everything. So now in this bowl, I have mixed half mayonnaise, and that's avocado mayo, as we know, with a 1/2 cup of Greek yogurt. So I want this to be just slightly healthier than normal. So I went ahead and added a little bit of yogurt, and actually that tang from that yogurt is just perfect. And then just to keep this Jennified, I'm going to go ahead and add 2 kind of unlikely seasonings that you would normally find in chicken salad. But this is just how I make my chicken salad. Oops, this is not open yet. I've got some Old Bay seasoning. And I'm going to add about, not much, maybe just that much, which is slightly more than 1/4 teaspoon. And I'm going to put that in there. And we're not looking to give it this wow flavor. We're just trying to give it a little interest. You know, what is that? Oops. And my Poultry Seasoning is also not open. And then I'm going to do the same. Just about 1/4 teaspoon. Just to make things interesting. And then we'll just give this all a mix. And hopefully that is going to be enough mayonnaise and yogurt to mix with our 4 cups of chicken. It looks like it's going to work. I don't know about you, but I don't like it squishing out my teeth. You know what I'm saying? I know that sounds gross. But sometimes you go and you get like a tuna or a chicken salad, and it's just like so much mayonnaise. It's like you got to find the sweet spot. All right. That is a perfect amount. I'm just kind of giving it a good mix so that we get that seasoning all throughout. And then we might need just a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm going to give it a taste. All right. That came together so quick. I mean, I did chop a little bit ahead of time, but mm-hmm. Just that little bit of extra seasoning. It needs a little bit of salt, and we'll just go ahead and add that in. I'm going to do, 2 times. Oops, that's probably good. Once around the bowl. And that's it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and, since we're meal prepping for the week, I will put this away. But I'll serve this on sandwiches. I can serve this on greens. I can put this in a wrap. I mean, you can eat it with crackers. There's a lot of good ways to eat chicken salad. So knowing that you can take just basic leftover chicken and do that with it, it's a good thing to have in your back pocket. You know what I'm saying? All right, friends, let's get into the second recipe here. I've got my chicken all cubed up. I started with 1 pound of chicken, which is 4 cups. It's when it's cubed, and I've gone ahead and I've separated it because we are going to do buffalo chicken taquitos, delicious, and we're going to do some salsa chicken taquitos. So because, not everybody in my house loves buffalo. I do, but pretty much nobody else does. So let's make this. Now we'll start off with our buffalo, and I'm just going to make it right in these little mixing dishes. I have 1/4 cup plus 1/4 cup plus like 1 tablespoon, I believe. So it's a little less than 1/3 of a cup, but more than 1/4 of a cup of buffalo sauce. And then I've just got, let's see, I believe this is 2 tablespoons of my homemade ranch. And I'll link that video if you want to go and look at my homemade dressings. Gotta love some homemade buttermilk ranch, you know what I'm saying? And lastly, I've got some cream cheese. Now this is 2 ounces. We're going to do 2 ounces per recipe. And we're just going to go ahead and give this a mix. And we don't really want it super duper wet. I mean, I know like this is kind of the same basic ingredients as like a buffalo chicken dip, but it's just less of the wet so that we can get, a really good taquito in the end. Oh my gosh, that smells so good. That is perfect. All right, look at that. Taquito filling number 1. Completely done. Let's grab another spoon. And do taquito number 2. Now, as you can see, I don't know if you can see. Can you see that? I put a teaspoon of taco seasoning on top of this this is just a little bit less than 1/2 cup of salsa. So it's 1 teaspoon of taco seasoning and a little bit less than 1/2 cup of salsa, and that's out of the jar. And then 2 ounces of cream cheese. And same thing, we're just gonna go ahead and give this a mix right inside the dish. Mix everything. Oh my gosh, that smells good too. Oh, I'm telling you, these are easy. And I really love recipes that are super easy, but big on flavor and like things that everybody is just really happy. I mean, nothing is worse than when you put in a ton of effort and people are like, yeah, that was okay. Right? Am I right? It's so disheartening and disappointing. So these recipes are quick and delicious. All right. And just like that, our 2 chickens are ready. We've got buffalo taquito mix and salsa taquito mix. So, my gosh, just like that, we're going to start making taquitos. I've got all my shells. Now, I don't know exactly how many I'm going to get per mix, but I guess we'll see. And then I've got just a little dish of olive oil, because once I put these taquitos together, I'm going to go ahead and brush some olive oil on the outside, because we're going to put these in the air fryer, so they're going to get nice and crispy. It's going to be so good. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to just move my pan. This is my air fryer setup. I have a grate over a pan. Whoops, try not to knock stuff on the floor. And just like that, we're gonna go ahead and get these made. I'm gonna start with the buffalo chicken. And I'm just gonna add, I mean, it's taquitos, so you don't want, they're not really meant to have a ton of filling, but I mean, you can stuff them however big or small you want. I just don't, I like them to be crispy, and so I don't want a ton of filling to kind of go against that crunch. And since these are buffalo, now I do have some pre-shredded cheese that I shredded off camera. And for the buffalo, I'm going to use the mozzarella, and for the salsa, I'm going to use the cheddar. So I just want a little bit of cheese in there. Ooh. Whoops, stay in there. And just like that, taquito number 1 is ready. All right, and I'll get the rest of these made and I'll show you when we do the salsa. All right, I've got our last buffalo chicken one, and it looks like we're gonna get 5 out of that. Oh, these look so good. So I'm gonna put that seam side down. All right, and then we'll get started on our salsa chicken. Now, right off the bat, little girl is home tonight. And so, I mean, she's home every night, practically. But she can't have the flour shells. And so I'm gonna make her 2 corn shells, and she's not gonna want these like super stuffed. So I'm just gonna make her like 2 little mini taquitos. She does not eat a whole lot. Well, last night she wolfed dinner down. Cutest. Stay with me now. There we go. And you can dip these in sour cream. I mean, you can make like your own little sauce. I like corn shells. Lastly, we'll do our flour shell ones. We'll make those a little bit bigger. All right, our last salsa chicken. We'll get everybody on there. Roll that up. And just like that, our taquitos have come together. All right, we've got our taquitos here. This one doesn't want to stay closed. I think I'm going to need just a little bit more oil. All right, my air fryer on the setting on the oven is already preheated to 380. So now I'm just going to lightly brush these. You could also spray them if you have spray. I don't have spray today. So I'm just going to brush them lightly with a little bit of oil. And that will cause them to be nice and crispy. I mean, how easy is this? I mean, it's good to have those like good chefy, impressive recipes in your back pocket, but I mean, it is also equally as good to have those quick weeknight, I really don't feel like making something, but I really want to eat something good kind of recipes. And this is one of those. Hers are kind of falling apart a little bit, but we're going to make it work because it'll be fine once it all comes out. All right, I'm going to flip these. And I guess I'm going to have to hold them. Ain't nobody going to be mad at me today. Everybody's going to be, I'm winning dinner. That's what I'm doing tonight. I'm going to win because everyone's going to be happy. I wish I would have known this recipe when my the older ones were growing up, because my son would have just loved these. I'll have to make him when he's in town. Alrighty, almost done here. Ah, we lost some filling. Get back in there. And then lastly, all right. I mean, you could also deep fry these on the stove, but I think they cook more evenly in the air fryer. And it's, you know, who wants to haul out pans and, all right, this is looking kind of sad, but baby girl will eat it anyways. Maybe I should have treated these corn tortillas. Okay, I am gonna clean up my mess and I'm gonna put these in the air fryer, and then I'll come back and we'll give these a taste. All right, friends, our taquitos are out of the oven. So those were in a 380 air fryer for about 14 minutes. And I just didn't want to let them go. This did not get quite as crispy as I had hoped it would, but the ends are nice and crispy. The bottoms are also nice and crispy. I mean, you could actually, if crisp was, you know, the goal, you could actually put just a little amount of oil in a frying pan, like a shallow oil frying pan, and then flip them, you know, fry on one side, flip. You could do them that way if you really, I really like the crunch. I thought they would go a little bit crunchier, but it also might be these particular shells. They're pretty soft, so they're still delicious, right? I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I'm eating the buffalo, right? Yes. The buffalo ones are mine. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a try. Those are delicious. That's the perfect amount of ranch to buffalo amount. And also, if you wanted to, if you're not a ranch person, but you like blue cheese with your buffalo, you could absolutely substitute those 2 tablespoons of ranch for a blue cheese. Now, these are good. All right. We're going to go ahead and enjoy these for dinner. Coming up next is recipe number 3. All right, friends, we are on our last recipe in this series of how to use chicken up, like either leftover chicken or meal prep chicken, and we're doing chicken fried rice. Now, it is several hours before I'm going to actually make the chicken fried rice, but I want to get the rice made and cooled. You don't want to make fried rice out of hot rice. You want to let it completely cool. That way it doesn't get weird and sticky on you. That would not be good. So let's get to the stove and I'll show you how to put this rice together. First thing we're going to do is we're going to get our stove turned on to like a medium high. And I've got a half a stick of butter in there, and I'm going to go ahead and melt that. And then we're going to add our rice. All right, our butter is almost completely melted. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in our 2 cups of white rice. And this is just plain old 2-to-1 water ratio, 2 cups of water to 1 cup white rice. And then we're going to kind of toast this rice off. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that all of this rice is good and coated. And I'm just going to keep it moving in the pan. And just kind of give everybody a chance. Give all those little pieces to get a chance to get a little, just a little bit toasted. Now, what's different about this fried rice is we're going to go ahead and we're going to flavor this rice when we first cook it. We're not going to cook it and then flavor it as we fry it. We're going to give it all the flavor that it's going to get. We're going to give that right now. I have a 1/2 cup of coconut aminos. I'm going to put that right in there. Woo! And then I've got, I'll just swirl that around in there. And then I've got our seasonings. Now, in this little dish, I have 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. And I'm just going to shake all that over top. Get that in. Now, I know that sounds crazy that we're using smoked paprika, but trust me, you just got to trust me. This makes the most delicious fried rice. And, you know, it's just using regular spices. I mean, the fanciest thing we got here is coconut aminos, and that's even, there's no MSG. And then we're going to cook this in some chicken stock. So it's going to have a rich flavor to begin with. When we go ahead and put this in the pan with our other ingredients to make the actual fried rice, most of the flavor is already going to be in the rice. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to go ahead and add, this is water that I've added like 4 teaspoons of chicken bouillon to. And so we're just going to bring that up to a boil, and then we will close it and let it do its thing. I'm going to add a teaspoon of ginger to that. Just because with the garlic and the onion and the ginger, garlic and ginger play really nice together in Asian food. So I'm just going to add ginger to that as well. All right, our rice is starting to boil, so I'm going to go ahead and put a lid on it now. I cannot find the lid on this pan, so I'm going to go ahead and just cover that with a plate. And I'm going to turn that down to low heat and set my timer for 15 minutes. All right, our rice is done and off the heat. I have just gone ahead and I've put it inside of a sheet pan. I keep these on hand all the time in case I need to take something to go. But I'm going to go ahead and let that cool, and then we'll come back in a little while and finish this dish. All right, friends, it's that time. Dinner isn't going to make itself, unfortunately. We're going to put this all together. I've got that fried rice that we made earlier. I went ahead and cubed up my chicken. I have diced a 1/2 of a large onion, about 2 medium carrots. They were kind of medium to small, but there's 2 carrots there. Now, I have about a cup of frozen peas that I just kind of took the chill off with a little bit of water. We're going to throw those in at the last minute. You don't necessarily want to cook those. The heat of this dish will bring those right up, and that's the best way to do that. And then lastly, I've got 4 eggs scrambled in this bowl, and we're going to push everything to the side. I'm going to show you how I scramble that and then mix it all in, and then we're going to top it with a couple sauces, and dinner is served. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to get that stove going, and I'm going to go ahead and turn that on high, and I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil to start with in the bottom of the pan. And I'm just going to I'm going to get our veggies going first because they're going to need the most amount of time to cook. So we will get that going in. Now we want to get these vegetables nice and soft because they're not really going to cook a lot more once we add the rice in. We want them to be basically done when we add the rice. Alright, our onions and our carrots are basically done. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the chicken. So we're going to warm this through. This isn't going to take that long to get this rice going. So I'm going to put everybody in besides the peas and the eggs at once. That's hot. Alright. And then we're just going to give everybody a mix together. Mix it all up. Woo! That looks good. Now you could use more chicken or less chicken. I mean, depending on however much you like. I just know we're eating this as our main meal tonight, and so I wanted to have, you know, quite a bit of protein in it. All right, we're going to go in with some sesame oil to fry this rice with, and I'm just going to kind of go all around the pool. That's good. And then I'm going to start just going to town and just kind of stir frying this rice. And it's important to scrape the bottom as you go. You don't want anything sticking or burning. Get everybody in there. And really, you're just going to do this for a few minutes. Just kind of going all around the pan. And stirring that rice up and letting that bottom just get a little bit fried. Gosh, this will feed us for a couple days, it looks like. Alright, I'm going to let it sit for just a little bit, and then I'll flip it a couple more times. And then we're just going to finish it. I mean, just like that, it comes together very quick. Scraping the bottom as I'm moving everything. Making sure everything is good and coated. And I'm going to test just to see if I need more of that coconut aminos. Oh man. We haven't even put our sauces on it yet. Alright, I think it could use just a tiny bit more, so I'm just going to give it a little bit more of that coconut aminos. Oh, that smells so... I wish you could smell this. It smells so good. Alright. Now, at this point, I'm going to turn the heat down to like a low-ish setting, and I'm going to scooch everybody over as far as I can get them in the pan. And let that pan cool down just a little bit. And then I'm going to get a couple tablespoons of butter. Or like a tablespoon. Just a little bit of butter. And I'm going to let it melt right there on this half of the pan. then we're going to go ahead and add that scrambled egg right here. And then we're just going to mix it as it scrambles. Scramble that egg. Try to get it so it doesn't stick on the bottom. Just takes a couple minutes. Alright, our scrambled egg is just about done. Now I'm going to start kind of pushing everything back over and just mix those scrambled eggs in with the rest of our rice. Get everybody mixed up. And while we're doing that, now is the time to add our peas. And I don't know if I'm going to need this full cup, but I like a lot of peas, so let's see how we did there. Look at that. Does that not look good? I am like, I'm hungry. I'm ready for dinner. And just like that, our chicken fried rice is done. I'm going to go ahead, like dinner is literally right now. So I'm going to go ahead and give, look at that steam. Give my husband some. Woo! I'll make myself a plate. Alright, now, we like to finish this with a little bit of this Japanese barbecue sauce. So, I mean, this is what we always do. I just go back and forth, just a little bit on the top. Just a little kiss of that on the top. Alright, and then some sweet chili sauce. This is like a sweet chili ginger. So, and then we just do just a few drizzles of that around the plate. Oh my gosh, my husband is gonna go crazy. It's on his plate. He really loves this stuff, so. Oh, look at that. Does that not look delicious? Because it is. It's really good. I'm gonna give it a taste. All right. Will it be delicious as it smells? As good as it smells? All right, I'm going in. Friends, right there. That is better than takeout. You know why that's better than takeout? Number one, because I know every single ingredient in it. I know it's not going to hurt me. And, that is so good. It's just like separately, you just don't know that it's going to come together like that. But that seasoned rice, when you taste it right after the rice is cooked, you're like, really? Like, it's not finished. You add the sesame oil, you cook it with all the things, you put the egg in it, you put the Japanese barbecue sauce and this on top. Oh, that is some excelente takeout. You know what I'm saying? If you like this recipe and the other two recipes I showed you, the chicken salad and the chicken taquitos, please like this video, comment, share, and why not subscribe? I'll be bringing you good stuff like this all the time. We'll see you soon.